Hello and welcome to Cooking with Miss Rice. Today we're going to be making a very delicious and simple recipe that most people think is a little harder than it is. We are going to make cream cheese frosting. Now, fun thing with cream cheese frosting is it actually maybe is, well actually I'd say it's pretty close to the actual recipe for most cheesecakes. So once you've made this, it'll be a pretty big step to just make a cheesecake at some point. Now, first thing we put in is 8 ounces of plain cream cheese. If you wanted to go a little crazy, feel free to go and put in something like maybe strawberry cream cheese or cinnamon cream cheese if you want to give it a little extra flavor. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, in chunks, put in some nice real butter. And what we're going to do is we are going to whisk these together until they blend and become a little fluffy. So we'll just get all this in there. This is a total of 6 tablespoons of butter. Alright, now I do know you can hear me over this, but I am going to repeat any directions I give. After this, I will be adding in some of the other ingredients, such as confectioner sugar, also known as powdered sugar, milk, and vanilla. The milk I will add in a little bit at a time until the frosting gets to the consistency I prefer. Slowly turn up the speed so you don't have things flying out right away. It will sometimes take a minute. There we go. Okay. Now this is the part where most people mess up, is they leave this running while they put in their vanilla. We are going to go and pour in, though, about a teaspoon or 2 of vanilla. I like mine very vanilla-ish. And then we're going to add in a few little cups of powdered sugar. We are going to add between 2 to 3. The reason the amount changes is powdered sugar, like most ground items, actually can settle. So usually it's better to go by weight, but I also understand that most people are not going to weigh their ingredients. So the best I can tell you is if you think your powdered sugar has settled, start with about 2 cups and go from there. That's half. That's 1 cup. That's 2 cups. Oh, sorry, that's 1.5. And 2 cups. Now I'm going to slowly start it so I don't have flour going everywhere. Now that it's running, I'm going to pour in a little bit of milk at a time. You shouldn't need more than a tablespoon or 2. And now that I have some liquid in there, I'm going to heat it up. Now, for the amount of cream cheese that's in there, I'm feeling like I need a little bit more powdered sugar, so I'm going to go ahead and add in my 3rd cup. Oh, the other thing that can affect how much powdered sugar you need, just as flour in some recipes, is actually the humidity of the area you're in. If it's very humid, as it is in the area I'm living in today, you may end up needing a lot more flour or powdered sugar to get it to the right consistency. Okay, we now have that, so let's go and see how this goes. Let me just get this to focus on the correct part, since apparently it wants you to see just the top. There we go. Alright, looks like getting that extra powder needs a little more milk. So we're just going to add a little bit more milk. Now, at this point, we're starting to just focus on whipping some air into this. And we're starting to get that nice, pretty frosting look that we want to see. It's getting lots of good volume. Now, I want to make sure I've gotten everything in there. So I am going to, before I declare this done, take my spatula and just kind of scrape everything down into the middle. This will help make sure every last bit of powdered sugar, every last bit of butter, every last bit of cream cheese really gets mixed in there. There we go. You can already tell it looks really, really good. Make sure to lock your mixer. You do not want this flying up. Alright, and there we go. We now have some delicious cream cheese frosting. Which, of course, the next thing most people like to ask me, besides, can I lick the batter? Which, hey, who doesn't like doing that, right? And this is actually one that you could let somebody do if you wanted, by the way, because there are no raw eggs, just some uncooked milk, cream cheese, etc. Is how do we get it all nice and pretty on cupcakes? Because a lot of people have that concern. So at this point, I'm going to just start getting this all ready. And I would like to mention, as always, I'm not pretending this is healthy. I don't make cupcakes for health. I do make, of course, exceptions to make cupcakes that are butter-free or dairy-free. This did use real butter. However, if I wanted to, I could easily make it with a butter substitute and make it easy for people who have allergies to eat. So what I'm doing at this point, let's see if I can't adjust things a little bit better for the camera. There we go. So at this point, I am now starting to fill this up with the frosting. Normally I would have a helper, but I don't have anybody who has given me permission to put their likeness in the video, even if it's just our hands, so we are playing it safe. Don't want anybody getting cranky on me. Okay, we're almost there. Now, what I'm doing is, most of us don't want to pay good money for a piping bag, and for good reason. Piping bags are expensive. They are an official chef tool. Now, obviously a piping bag is the best thing that is designed for piping things like frosting, but for those of us who live in budget land, the next best thing is to simply go and fill a Ziploc bag with your frosting. And we'll just get this taken care of. There we go. Now, the only thing I have to do is trim the end. Once I go and cut this end, I will be able to go and put the frosting on the cupcakes. Now, if you'll excuse me for just 1 minute while I get the cupcakes from the fridge. That is one thing, whenever you go and frost cupcakes, a common mistake is to do it while they're still warm and then the frosting melts. You really don't want to do that with anything that is a cream cheese based or butter based frosting. Otherwise, it will melt, it'll turn into a mess, and it's just gross. So if you'll give me 1 minute, please. All right. So since I don't think you all want to watch me frost 48 mini cupcakes, I've just picked 6 pretty ones for the purposes of our video. And I am just going to off the tip of my bag. Now remember, the bigger the hole you make, the more frosting will come out. So you may want to do a few little tests before you go crazy. And I've left a little air hole at the top of the bag, so as I squeeze, air can escape. There we go. And again, just a little swirl. And obviously I am not a frosting guru here as far as decorating. I am still learning myself. But this is, as you can tell, very simple. And incredibly tasty. And for those of you curious, this is the same recipe as for my chocolate cupcakes earlier, just done as a mini. This frosting bag will frost about 48 mini cupcakes or about 12 full-size cupcakes. So there you go, everyone. Enjoy making your own homemade frosting. Bon appetit!